Well, Joe, first and foremost, you got your opportunity to get the first practice out of the way. What was it like for you out there? And even though they didn't have pads on, what could you take away?
Always first day of camp, nervousness, excitement, anticipation. Just to see the carryover from the classroom and what we've been doing here in the last couple of days to be able to execute on the field. I thought the effort was tremendous today. I was really pleased with my group as far as the effort. The thing that we need to clean up is the execution. That will come with some more repetition. But after day one, it looked like football, which that's what my goal was.
This offensive line has obviously gone out there and done very progressive work in the last few seasons. This is your first season here. What do you take away when you sit down with Scott and kind of talk about what he's seen or what he's used to? Was there a conversation about expectations or maybe certain characteristics?
He let me set the expectations in the room. And I have very high standards for our group, and they'll have a lot of input, and I get a lot of feedback from them as we continue on through, the rest of the practices here. But the standards in our group are very high, not only from the football field, but from how we conduct ourselves every day, how we attack the classroom, and how we are in our community, and how we represent what Syracuse is all about. So I look at that and say, we have a great task in front of us, and we've got to continue to set the standard every day.
When you go back on your experience that you had, obviously being a head coach and do a lot of other things that you've done in different parts of the football team in general before coming to Syracuse, how can you take that experience and utilize it here coming from a similar place like one of the coaches in Tim Lester?
It's been great because I've been an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, and a head coach. So I have a lot of experience in seeing different defenses, different fronts, different looks, different pressures, how I would attack our own pressures, which is a unique tool for us. I just got to get those guys in the right position, be able to execute, and look back on my experience. And I always say we look back in the past to understand the present and illuminate the future. And that's what I'm trying to do here in this position here at Syracuse.
Some of the guys that were on the offensive line aren't there anymore, but a guy like Rob Trudeau, even though you weren't in full pads, he's back at that center position. He's practiced there, but he hasn't played there for Syracuse. What could you take away from him today?
He's a guy that plays with tremendous passion, and that's what I really love about him. He has to be the captain of that line out there because he has to get us set into our calls, and into the right place. So there's a lot of onus on the center when it comes to how we conduct our business here as far as an offensive line. I thought he did a great job today. There's going to be a few hiccups along the road, but ultimately, things we talked about today on the field were more just execution pieces, and I thought he did a great job for day one.
Another guy that comes back, Hickey at left tackle. What do you see about him that you like so far?
I think he's a physical presence, and he's going to continue to get better. My job with him and my hope is that he becomes a force to be reckoned with. And he's already a very good player, and I want to see him continue to compete and continue to get better every single practice and really lead us into the future.
Amare Palmer, a guy that was used in rotation. What do you take away from somebody like him being asked to really take one of those guard positions and have to go out there and handle it himself at the start of at least spring practice at the top of the roster for that?
Yeah, Amare, he's a very athletic young man for his size. He's got great feet. He did a very good job today of understanding where he fit. When we're going that fast with the tempo, I know it's going to be hard on the guys, especially up front, because we have to maintain a certain level of play as we continue on, and it gets longer in practice. So for me, I thought he did a great job, in day one, and really, beyond my expectations.
As far as Knapp being at the other guard position, this is a guy who I've spoken with numerous times about wanting to work hard and really get himself out there. He has that opportunity now. What's he kind of shown you so far from what you can take away?
He's a product of work. He's a blue-collar type kid, and that's his mentality. That's how he approaches the game. That's how he approaches things with me. He's a guy who's a technician who asks the right questions and tries to get better every day and every play. And that's the thing that I really like about him. And I know that he'll continue to progress. I was really pleased with how he did today, and I know he'll even be better as we continue through on. So,
I'm sorry, guys. And then finally with Michael Lasker, what can you say about him?
Mike, overall impressive, I know he didn't get a ton of playing time last year. He's coming off a very tough, surrounding with his family and situation. We're here as a brotherhood for him, and I was extremely impressed with him being home the past 10 days. To be able to come in here and execute like he did today, it speaks a lot about his character and who he is as a person.